Anyone who's in there already, we are just getting set up. Carolyn is doing a lovely bit of dancing. There's Dunk Richards.
It'll be 5 minutes. We'll start at 5 o'clock, so we're just letting people get on and getting set up there. So we'll see you very shortly.
So this is our space. Give you a little tour.
Out into the colour room out there.
Yeah, so this is Sabre HQ. So all our beautiful Joyco stands, our wall of colour. There we go. Our little basins, nice bit of afternoon sun coming in there. Duncan's just having a little sing. Hey there, Lenny.
Hey, Lenny.
Lenny is here. Andy Pandy, how you doing?
Hi, Andy.
Andy, welcome from Port Macquarie.
So, we are just going to wait for a few more people to join. Dunk, you keep your eye on the time there for me.
Sure will.
Oops, sorry guys.
Give it a couple more minutes. We can, meantime, look at
Hi,
Carolyn's
Kyles.
amazing braiding skills.
Yeah, let's come in there.
Well, I had a journey here, so it was okay. Now she's a bit frazzled. Her
she's
lashes
looking-
are great. Look at those lashes.
You know, I found a mannequin the other day and the lashes were glued on upside down and it was really off-putting. It just looked wrong.
You bought it, right?
So did you
Oh,
cut
yeah.
your hair upside down?
Well, I should have done.
Yeah.
I should have done. Okay.
Technique?
Yeah. That's next. That's next. Okay. So we'll just let a few more people in. Hi, Pauline. Hey, Kim. Welcome. Hey, Dylan. Tassie is here. Good, good. Out in force. All right. How is everybody's day going for a Monday? Let us know. This is so exciting. Little sneak peek for anyone who's in early. Look at these colours. So pretty. And I just have to comment on the skirt. The skirt is awesome.
And sweaty.
And sweaty apparently, but that's just between you and me. No one needs to know. Okay.
How are we doing?
You want to...
We're nearly 1 minute, I think.
1 minute until kickoff. Ooh. What are you going to post, Kim? Have you got a name for your look? I don't know, I suppose it's probably awkward me talking and you guys not seeing me. So I am going to... No, I'm not. I was going to flip the camera. I'll just do this. Hi. So that's me. All right. So, very important with colour intensity. One of Carolyn's great tips is keep the hair damp. So that's what she was doing there. Okay, so we are almost good to go. Sorry, just technical difficulties. Not really difficulties, but you know, just getting things sorted, getting things happening. Hello from Port Hedland.
At a time?
Okay, I think we are good to go. So,
Okay, so guys, welcome to our Sabre Education Experience Facebook page, and to our live today with, of course, the amazing colorist, Carolyn Gahan. Carolyn's going to be sharing her new Pastel Infusion technique, which I know you guys are going to love. It's great for introducing, new clients from blonde into color intensities or pastel shades, and really just, great to create lots of different looks with these new shades. Now from there, guys, please, we've got a great giveaway today. We've got a Blonde Life kit. So with that, we've got a Blonde Life powder lightener, a Blonde Life cream lightener, and all the Blonde Life take-home care. So a pack here valued at $280. What you have to do to win it is to be posting comments and questions. And so if you want to be in the running to win that amazing kit, then jump in, make sure you're posting lots of comments and questions. So from there, guys, jump in. We're going to get started, and I'll pass you over to Carolyn, who we're our award-winning hairstylist. We can't wait to see Sunday night, Carolyn. We're going to be Australian Hair Fashion Awards. How many categories are you in?
4.
Okay,
Yeah.
4 categories.
Just 4 this year.
Okay, just 4 this year.
Yeah,
exactly. And thanks for putting those really high heels on there. Okay.
All us shorties are, feeling it.
Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Carolyn. We can jump into it.
Cool. So I just, this morning, just prepped this hair already. So this is the look that we're going to do today. And these are just 4 different shades in the hair. So I'm just going to show you, it's a very easy technique. It's basically 3 color applications over and over. And I've just drawn them up on the board here. So you'll see when we go through why these make sense, but it's literally just 1, 2, 3 sections, and we just repeat that over and over. Super easy. And then through the top, we're going to do a mohawk section and kind of a herringbone subsection in there. Cool. So I've prepped this girl. What's her name? Jane. I've prepped her. I just give her 1 shampoo to defy damage. And sometimes you can apply the colors on dry hair, but for me, I like to do it on damp hair. It just helps to melt the colors into each other. I just find it a little bit easier to work with, and you don't need as much product as you would on dry. So she's drying up here a bit, so I'm just going to give her another spray through. Cool. So maybe I'll turn her. Is that the best for you there?
Yep, that's looking good.
I'm going to just put that over. Cool. So these are the shades that we're working with today. So I've made them a bit more pastel than they normally are. This one is lilac and light purple mixed together with a little bit of clear. This one is just straight blush. This is a periwinkle color with clear. And this one I made with aqua blue, yellow, and peacock green together, because we don't really have a pastel green. We don't have the mint anymore, so we just played around with a few colors and made that shade, which is beautiful. Something to note, if you're doing purple colors, if they're too pastel, they act more like a toner in the hair, and they just neutralize the yellow, and then you don't get any purple left. So that's why I just pumped up this purple a little bit with the light purple color in with the lilac. And you can see here, so that's on the end, that's the purple that gives. So you have to pump it up a little bit because she still has a bit of gold in her hair. So that's why I went a little bit extra with the purple. Cool, all right. So this is my little board. I actually made this myself. I just got this, I don't even know what you call this, but it's just from Bunnings. They come in big sheets, and I just sort of cut it and made it a little bit of a curve so I can just go right into the head like that. Cool. And then in between a few sections, I'm going to use just your perm cotton, normal stuff. Cool. All right. So I'm going to just section her off, kind of just behind ear. Get that out of the way. Just clip that out of the way. Cool. So get that out of the way. Okay, so in the top, I did a mohawk section, as you can see. So kind of corner of the eyebrow, sort of all the way back to the crown. And I just put a little braid in there just to keep the hair out of the way. So that side's already done. And then I'm gonna start at the nape on this side. So just push that hair forward, get that out of the way, and then we're literally just gonna start at the bottom. And I'm just gonna do a bit of a rough zigzag part. Nothing perfect, literally just getting a zigzag in there. Clip that out of the way. And then, so all the roots are going to be done with the blue. So I'm literally just going in the blue, lifting that up, just really working that into the hair. So just the root. And then I'm going to put my board in, like that. It's getting a bit dry. I'm just going to give that a spray with some water. Comb that down on my board. And then I'm just going to work the purple in just to the bottom here. I'm just using my finger just to melt that color in, just like that. So you can do the same on the top, but you honestly don't really need to work this in too much because it's a pastel, but you can, if you want, just do that. And that's it. That's the first section done. So you can put a bit of cotton under there if you want. I'm just gonna drop that. So with that, you have a wet towel at your station. You're just gonna give that a good wipe and move on to the next section.
Okay, got a question here. Does dampening the hair affect how long the pastel lasts?
I mean, pastels aren't gonna last super long anyways, but you should, well, you have to use the right shampoo at home as well. But it does dilute it a little bit, but I still think it lasts as long as it normally would. It just helps you saturate the color through and get a little bit of an evener, more even application. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going to just another zigzag part. And now we're gonna go on to our number 2. All right. And I'm gonna do the same with the root color. Blue onto there. Grab my board. Put it under, give it a comb if you like. And the green is just gonna go right in the middle. So we're leaving blonde here and we're leaving blonde here. And the same thing, your finger, just gonna go in and melt that color in. Same with the bottom as well. Cool?
Awesome. Just a comment that we've had is that HKP is also a really good product there for dampening the hair. So that's a great tip. Thanks, Richard.
Okay, so we're gonna do the third one now. Just another rough zigzag section. That.
Mm-hmm.
Put that out of the way. And this one, we're going to do the same root. And this one we're going to weave out. So you're just going to take big, heavy weaves. Just let that blonde drop. And this is your pink. So if you want to melt the pink in with the blue a little bit easier, you can take some of your purple and just sort of put it in there. And that kind of just gives you a nice blend of those colors.
So Carolyn, when you're working with these techniques, and particularly with pastels, I know just your sectioning is usually quite bold in what you do.
Yeah.
You know, particularly with that, how do you find that the reason for working through in that fashion?
Just with pastels, you can really go bigger, I find. I've definitely made some mistakes in trying to take really small sections and then you blow dry it and you just don't see much. So for pastels, I like to use big, heavy sections. Yeah, there's nothing worse than blow drying and you're like, oh, where did all my color go? So for pastels, I really love to do this. If we're working with deeper shades, it could get a little bit stripy-ish. But for this look, I love these big, bold sections. I think they work really nicely. Yeah. Okay, so now we're just gonna go right back to the first one. So zigzag that section out. So that was blue on the root and then purple on the end.
So Carolyn, with the pastel infusion technique, where did this come from? What inspired you with it? Where did the philosophy of it actually come from?
I just sort of take bits and pieces from different classes and things I watch. I like to always try my own colors, especially mixing these colors is super fun. But I always have had a thing for pastels. Like, I just find them so pretty. And also, they rinse out really well, so you don't have this major commitment. You know, like using the dark blues and greens, oh God. You like have to have those colors for years. These ones are just a bit more fun, and anyone can wear them really. Like, you just gotta watch around the face. If someone looks better with warmer colors, you do maybe a bit more pink around their face, cooler tones, maybe more blue. You know, you can tailor it to anyone really.
So they're probably really good for your clientele who you do a lot of color intensity work.
Yeah.
They can come back in, try something different
Yeah,
next time,
exactly,
you can change
yeah.
it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, if she's like, oh, I love the blue root, but can we make it a bit deeper? I'm like, yeah, cool. Just put a bit less clear in, and away you go.
And can you just talk us through the mixing with the clear?
Yeah, so when I mix with clear, I usually do the clear first, and then put your shade in with the clear.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a bit hairy if you do the color first and then the clear. You end up adding a whole tube of clear, and you still don't have the right pastel shade. So mix your clear in first, and then your target shade that you want, and sort of go from there. And then just do it on a piece of paper, like a white piece of paper, like you put the colors on there.
Okay, I'm just gonna take
shades
everyone round. You guys can see this is. Feel free to screenshot that, or we can post a picture of it afterwards. But this is how Carolyn has worked out what colours, you know, she's mixed, and you know, painting them on a white piece of paper is a very good indication of what you'll get. So that's that there, and I'll bring you back over just to that sectioning again, so you can see her 1, 2, 3, and I'll come back over here. Okay, so what is the board made out of? So Dunk, you're our resident Bunnings expert, aren't you?
It's actually like a plastic, but it's a very soft plastic. It's nearly between a foam and a plastic.
Yeah, like
so
you can wash that.
yeah, it's nice. It's got a bit of flexibility.
I'm gonna bring in. You can see the side of it. So
They
this is
come
a
in
DIY job.
Yeah, they come in big squares at Bunnings. So there's one aisle that has all these types of boards, and you just find it in there, and then you just cut it. Actually, you just use a X-Acto knife, and then you just sort of snap it. I don't know. My husband did this for me. He's probably watching. He probably knows what's going on.
He's probably smacking his head, going,
If you're
"Oh,
watching,
shit."
please tell us.
Yes, if you know, please share. But it is a Bunnings special.
Yes. Cool. So this one is just the green in the center, melting it up with your finger, and on the bottom as well.
So with this colour combination, how did you come up with it? You know, about placing the green in there, and you know, the
just sort of trial and error, really.
Yeah.
I mean, greens you don't want to do a lot of because they really show up in the hair. The same as yellows, some deep blues really show up as well. So I've just noticed purple and pink you can go crazy with, like as much as you want. Greens and blues are a little bit different where they stand out, as well as yellow too. I'll show you another mannequin a little bit later with the yellow and how bright the yellow is. So yeah, I just love these colors together. And say you just wanted to tone the blonde, like if I didn't want to use purple and I just wanted to tone the blonde, I would just use the lilac. Lilac? Yes. And that would neutralize any gold you have in there. So I'll show you guys the other mannequin where I use silver and purple just as a toner rather than a color intensity.
Okay, a couple of questions. How do you feel about pre-toning before pastel Joyco colour intensity?
I definitely have. I just find if you're in a bit of a time crunch as well, just use your colors to be your toner as well, if you can.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have the time just to chuck a violet toner on there before you do your intensities, yeah, go for it. I've definitely done both. With this, I just find she was light enough. Like, I mean, if she was going to be a blonde, I would probably tone her as a blonde. But when you do these colors throughout, you don't really need a toner. They sort of complement each other really nicely, actually. So, yeah.
Okay, and I've got another question here. How big of a difference would it make if you took diagonal sections instead of horizontal?
It doesn't really. I just find with gravity, this makes it a lot easier to do, and it's just quick and easy. In the top, we're going to do some over-directing, really diagonal, because that's the ones you're going to see the most of. But underneath, you don't need to bust your balls doing all these amazing sectioning when you can't see the root underneath anyway. So I mean, you definitely could. I just find this one really, really easy, straightforward. You can see what section did last, and I don't know. You definitely can go for gold. I've done lots of diagonal sections before. It does take a lot longer, but the result is still beautiful. The other girl I'll show you, I did diagonal on her, and it turned out wonderful, but this one's just easier.
Would diagonal make it a little softer maybe, Carolyn, with the fall?
I mean, this one's still really soft, like on that side. But it can, yeah, I guess it depends on also if you're gonna wear your hair back a lot, diagonal would be nicer. Because this one you'll have the roots all the same, whereas diagonal you'd have maybe a little bit different color if you're gonna wear the hair up. So yeah, just taking into consideration their lifestyle and how they wear their hair all the time. And you really wanna work those colors around the face to suit them so they don't feel like they can only wear their hair down.
Okay, I got another question here. Can you mix Joyco colour conditioner with pastel to make the pastel last longer? So which colour conditioners are we talking about there?
You can come in, Duncan.
Wendy?
Answer that one.
So,
I'll bring you over to
adding
Dan.
the conditioner to it, it won't actually make it last longer. You'll tend to find that it really, it can help you sort of disperse the colour a little bit, but obviously you slightly dilute the pigment when you're doing that, so it won't necessarily last longer. I think the key thing with it always, of course, is what the porosity of the hair is as well. You know, porosity of the hair, if it's quite porous, it grabs onto that hair and holds really well. But of course, washing out of it, it will wash out still quite quickly as well if it's really pastel. So,
but you can mix these in with your regular conditioner at home to refresh.
To refresh, yeah, because that will tend to soften it out a little bit there. Yeah.
So with a multicolour like this, Carolyn, you know, if you were going to mix a little bit in with conditioner for maintenance, what would you choose? Would you go like a lilac just to keep that blonde?
Yeah, because it's pretty cool-ish, but I mean, you really just need to use your color therapy shampoo and conditioners, any really good color protecting, because it's going to be hard to target each color on its own. Yeah. But just, you know, dry shampoo is your best friend for colors like this, and then you're just really good, color therapy shampoo and conditioner and defy damage as well. It's really nice.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just on the last one. And I want to see a bit more pink on top, so I'm going to just switch it up and just do a pink one instead on the very top.
And in terms of balancing from side to side, Carolyn, do you try and match?
Nah.
No, you can go mix and match and...
Yeah, that's what I like most about it. It's not the same on each side, and you know, when it gets movement, when you put curls in it, it's just beautiful. Like, I left this straight so you could see what it looks like, but if we put some bend in the hair, it's going to be amazeballs.
Okay, so a question here from Amy. How heavy is your saturation? If applying a heavier saturation, will it change the colour or look at all?
No, but I'm pretty heavy with the saturation. That's why I like to have the damp hair. I just find it moves the color around a bit easier, but yeah, I like to put loads of product on.
From Andy, do you recommend your clients to rinse their hair with cool or cold water?
Yes, if they can. Actually, a lot of people like rinsing their hair with cool water. I didn't know that was a real thing, but the more I talk to people, they're like, oh, I love a cold shower. I'm like, you're insane. So actually, yes, if you like that, then that will help your color tremendously. Yeah. Okay, so I finished that section. It's pretty quick, right? Doesn't look super amazing now, but it will. I just like to use the cotton so you can kind of see where your sections are. You can just lay them flat on top of one another, but just visually I like to do that so you can kind of see where you're at. Cool, and we're just going to continue the exact same thing up the side of Jane's head.
So, Carolyn, with this technique, you're doing it as pastel.
Yeah.
You know, would you do it on different levels? Would you change it up, or do you keep this pretty much as a blonde pastel technique?
Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did try it with the toners and a few other colors and not so good. So I think this is best for pastel. Just because it's such a quick application. Like if you were gonna use darker colors, you would probably put clear on the hair first and then you'd work the darker color into that. And then you can get a really nice blend with that. But this way I just like to, it's kind of just like doing artwork, you know? It's just a little bit abstract and a bit wild, but yeah, so the darker the color, the more you have to really blend all those colors in, and it's not as fun. But you definitely can, but for this one in particular, I find the pastels are really fun and easy to do.
But you could maybe, if you were to take, like, say, a level, 6 or 7, and you were to highlight her,
Yeah.
You could then...
Yeah, so as long as the hair's pre-lightened in some spots, for sure. But just keep in mind, if she's very gold still, you're going to lose your purple, and also your blue might look a bit muddy and green because it's yellow and blue. So yeah, just maybe change your colors to warmer colors if you're going to use like if you only lifted her to maybe a level 8, you can use other colors like magenta and hot kiss, and those ones would be really nice. Yeah. But yeah, just have fun, experiment. I'm just showing you one technique so you guys can take that and do whatever you like with it, really.
Experimentation is key.
Yeah. Cool. So the next one is just green in the center.
So with you saying, the green, the yellows, how they stand out. So essentially they become your really sort of pop colour within your technique.
Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. And you need the blonde still in there because that's what's going to pop the colors out and give it that real pastel sort of look.
Okay, how light would you recommend lightening the hair before pastels, and what is your favourite bleach to use?
So try to get to a nice, probably 9. And my favorite lightener is the Joyco Blonde Life. The best. Like there's no messing around with that stuff. Gets the job done, and literally like all you need is like a 10 or 20 ball max. Like it's good stuff. But obviously if the hair can handle that, Cool. This is the third one. Okay, so this one's a weave. And then pink. Do you guys have many pastel clients in the salon? Do you do these colors often?
That's a good question. Shout out, guys. We'd love to know.
So you can also keep just a clean brush on your trolley, and if you want to use that to kind of blend your colors, you can. That's another good tip. It just kind of helps melt them off. But make sure you clean that every time because it defeats the purpose.
Carolyn, a few people asking sort of about that maintenance side of things as well.
Yeah.
One option is, of course, as well, we have
The
colour
colour
butters,
Yeah.
which are that treatment that they can use as a home treatment. It doubles as a mask as well as putting colour in the hair as well. So when you're looking at that, you want some maintenance, normal colours for intensity, there's always the colour butters. You can dilute these as well by also adding some more conditioner or more treatment to them as well.
And they
Okay.
smell amazing, those ones.
Okay, so Amy has said she doesn't do that many sort of light blonde pastels, more
Deeper.
the 5 to 7 clients.
Yeah, those are, I wish I had more of them, to be honest. Because some of those are really vibrant purples and blues and greens. It was so nice. I wish I had more. Okay, so now we're back to this dark.
And Carolyn, you find this is a really good technique for introducing people into colour intensities.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's not so in your face, and I think you can still go to the office with this color, maybe. But yeah, it's just a good introduction for people who are thinking about it.
Colour curious.
Yeah.
Oh, what have I missed there? Okay, so I've got another question here. Would you still keep the herringbone pattern dead centre on the top if they had a deep side part?
Good question. I would just move it. So sort of do a horseshoe around their part, so wherever they part. But also it is nice if they do part on the side and it's a little bit different there as well. So I guess just whatever your client's into. But yeah, if they want, you know, the symmetry, then just, yeah, go do the horseshoe right around their part. Absolutely.
Carolyn, Jessie has said, what is the best way to remove the colour once the client wants to go back blonde without compromising the hair quality? What do you do?
So the Joyco eraser is the best. I've actually used it with hot water. Yeah, so you can mix it just with really warm water. Obviously make sure it's okay for their scalp before you dump it on them. But yeah, Joyco eraser is the best. If it's a really stubborn shade, you can use a 10 ball or 20 ball. But yeah, Joyco eraser is great. Even if you put in a toner that you don't really like, Joyco eraser will sort that out for you for sure.
And our trusty sidekick has just brought one in for you guys. So there we go.
Yeah. So that is a powder, so you just mix it in with your water. The instructions are on there for how much you should mix in. And then yeah, you just put it on there. You can do wet or dry. And then you just watch it, just see what it's doing. Sometimes the hair gets too cold while it's sitting in the bowl, so it can be better to do it at your chair. But yeah, that stuff's really great.
Okay, another question. Could you use foils to lay them in and to develop instead of just leaving them to sit?
Yeah, but you'd be wasting foils. They're not going to, the color doesn't transfer onto the other color, so you absolutely could. I'm just all about like time efficiency and, you know, this side this morning, I didn't even have cotton this morning, so I just laid them on top of one another and like it's fine. So if you're more comfortable using foils, absolutely. But this way it's just a little bit easier, I find. Or you can use Glad Wrap as well for your sections if you want. Okay, so I am just going to take this top section down. Still, I like to braid it because it keeps the hair moist, so I'm just going to undo that braid. So now you can see that side is done. So these colors process for 25 minutes to 30 minutes, and they're non-progressive colors, so they're not going to get any darker as the time goes on. Alright, so now we're going to do the top bit here. I don't know, it's going to be easier for you to film.
Alright, I might come and stand.
Yeah. Okie dokes.
Carolyn, just while you're setting up there, I might, just for that question, which I thought was a great one about, you know, taking the colour out or removing it.
Yeah.
I know you talked about eraser there with either warm water. You can use, of course, with 10 vol. Removing intensity out of the hair, slower is definitely the best way to go.
Yeah.
If you're working with really pastel shades, you can always use, you know, your clarifying shampoo, your deep cleansing shampoo. In the K-Pack range clarifying, leave it on the hair for a few minutes, so apply it, leave it on, and give it a few minutes, then repeat and repeat. Obviously, deep cleansing will remove it faster than normal if you don't want to go into a lightening process.
Yeah. So you won't damage the
Okay,
hair.
so we're going first section. What are we doing?
Cool, so we're just going to go up like this, then we're going to switch and go like this, like a herringbone. So we're just going to start. And this one you can be a bit more creative. you know, depending on what colors the client wants to see the most, because obviously this is the veil that's going to sit over the rest of the hair. So just have a chat with your client which color she wants to see the most of. But I'm pretty much going to do similar color pattern, but we might just change it up a little bit along the way.
Just a question here, can you process under heat?
I never do. Do you recommend that?
Generally, normal processing is, of course, just dry, but you can process under heat. If you want to get a little bit more longevity, it can help sometimes, you know, just to get a little bit of heat. I wouldn't go too crazy with it at all, but, you know, certainly, number one, applying on drier hair will give you a little bit more longevity if that's what you're after. I imagine asking about heat might be the reason.
Also, Andy Pandy would like to know, how long do you process your pastels for?
30 minutes maximum, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good amount, 30 minutes.
Yeah. And Emma has just come back to dampening. Do we dampen every time we use intensity? So would you ever do it dry?
Yeah, I would. But you have to use so much color, I find, when you're doing it on dry. And so it helps to push the color through the hair, I find, if it's just a little bit damp, but you absolutely can do it on dry hair, for sure you can. Okay, I'm just gonna go up. Sorry, it's so hard to talk and concentrate at the same time. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the next one.
I'm just going to come up for sort of that bird's eye view.
And I'm just
times like this, I wish I was taller.
I'm just going to open up this cotton and just put it down over that section so we don't touch. You can use a foil there if you want as well, but I'm just going to do a little bit of cotton. It's just very light on the hair as well, so the client isn't weighed down at all. Cool, so that way we can just flop the hair over there and we're all good to go.
Would you recommend using Defy Damage Pro Series 1 and 2?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because you've obviously pre-lightened the hair, so it needs a little bit of extra love. Okay. So.
And you're just following that same repeat.
Yeah. This one you can kind of mix up a bit, and you can add different colors. Like say you're like, oh, I want to see a bit of yellow. Go for gold, have a bit of fun. Just keep in mind the yellow is very intense, so you really notice it. So just go easy with the yellow, guys. Cool, so...
This is a good question. What temperature do you recommend your intensity clients use when they're hot styling, heat styling?
If they have to, it's not recommended, but yeah, like 150 max if they really, really have to, but obviously heat protector on the hair, the ironclad is really good for heat protection, but also protective shield, Defy Damage, put in your hair before you blow dry. So that'll protect from the heat of the blow dryer and the irons, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend lots of heat or heat styling at all with these sort of shades. Okay, I'm gonna do one more this way, and then we're gonna go the other way.
And how long would you say that this is going to last, you know, with everyday wear and tear?
I mean, yeah, that just comes down to their lifestyle, how porous their hair was before, but you should get around 15 to 30 washes. You obviously have to use professional products, and yeah, just look after your hair. And heat protectors are really great. But yeah, you should get up to 30 washes with these colors. And dry shampoo. Use your dry shampoo.
Weekend hair, baby.
Yeah, man. Okay, so this one's a weave. Pink. Cool. So I chose to do the blue at the root just because it's the darkest color. And that just sort of mimics natural hair color anyways. You could switch it up and do light at the root if you want, but I just thought this was gonna look the best. So I'm just using the purple to fuse in, and then I'm using that other just random brush I had to help melt those colors together. Cool. Alright, so last one there. You can get face shields as well for your clients. They just stick on your forehead. They're great for if you're cutting fringes or anything like that. It literally is just a little plastic sheet and it goes over their face if they're worried about that.
Okay, so you can just see that diagonal back line now.
Yeah. And now we're just gonna go this way.
So going back the other way.
Yeah. I might just start that first.
I personally think I may go into board production. Little side hustle. Nobody take that idea. I've taken it now.
There we go. Okay, purple on the end.
Keep those comments coming, guys. Remember, you go in the draw to win the Blonde Life package.
Got enough cotton there. Just chop it over. Alright, we'll just keep going up. Just really rough zigzags.
Sabre boards. Yep, Jessie. And I think they're going to be Abbey boards. With thanks to Carolyn Gahan.
Make sure you put my name on them.
Yeah.
My face.
Yeah, can we put Carolyn's face on them? That one right there.
Oh god.
Okay, Pauline's asked, do you weave the sections on top?
Some you can. Like this is where you just have a bit of fun. So the one I did before, I didn't weave them. This one I kind of randomly am, and the other one I didn't weave them. So I'll show you what the different looks, what the end result is. But yeah, it just depends. If you want to see more blonde on top, then weave them. If she's like, yeah, go for gold, do crazy colors, then just, you can just slap them on all the way through.
Okay, so Katie has asked, could you use a regular colour on the root and blend it with an intensity, or should you not mix intensities and normal colours?
You could. The only thing is, like, if you're going to use a toner or like the liquids, they can get quite deep, so they get darker as you go on. So you can imagine if you started in the back, your roots would be really, really dark, and by the time you got up here, not so dark. So the timing's just a bit off with the two. You definitely can. I just find this is better because then everything will process at the same time and then it will fade out at the same time for the retouch, you know? But yeah, you could. If, say, yeah, she had like gray regrowth or something, but she had some lightness through her ends, you could definitely do that. You just can't mix them physically together, that's all.
So any tips when applying intensity to dry hair? Sometimes it's hard to get it worked through the section.
Yeah,
it's from Emma. That's why we do damp. Yep.
You do damp, yeah. Is blending, yeah.
Because I've definitely experienced patchiness, and you have to take the smallest sections, I find, and the hair just soaks it up. So just spray it with some water, you know. It doesn't have to be crazy, or that other spray that they were talking about. What's it called? I haven't actually used that yet. I'm excited to. Alright, so this one, I'm going to do the pink on here.
You're being complimented on how clean the sections are. At least I'm assuming you mean clean sections there, Amy. Otherwise, yeah, Carolyn is very clean. Look, not a smudge on her face.
So I wear black. Can't see anything. Yeah, I find the cotton helps to make everything look very clean as well. The clients appreciate that, then it's just like stuck to their face. Okay.
Carol, I was just talking about the blending there as well, and I think that's a key thing when you're using intensity, is the way that you work it one way, but then you're blending back across the other way with your brush.
Yeah, because these sections aren't super thin, So you really need to make sure you're pushing that color into the hair. Cool, that's enough for that side. I'm gonna go back this way. I did even think about doing like a dark blue for the root, which would look really nice as well, but I thought, no, this is Pastel Infusion, stick to the program. But you definitely could use a deeper root color. Would be nice. So when you're blending, try to use all, so say you've already used that finger, then go to the next finger to do that one, instead of using the same finger, and then you're just gonna get a bit muddy with the colors. And also when you're dropping this, try to, instead of pulling it right out, because then you smear all the color into the other hair, just try to kind of fold it out like that, if that makes sense. I'll do it better this one.
Yeah. I don't know if I caught it. I don't know if I caught it.
I'll show you what I mean. Just like, you know what I mean? Instead of dragging the board out,
yeah.
you smudge all the color.
I might do better from this side.
Okay. God, this was quick. What time is it? Right on. Okay.
Perfect.
Do a little pink action here.
So you're doing that weave there because
Yeah.
you are taking it the whole way through. You're not sort of.
Yeah, well, this is just the same as we've been doing. So the third
Yep.
one is always a weave right to the end, because this will still have the blonde in there as well. But yeah, there's no particular width of weave. You know, if you want to see more blonde, do a heavier weave or pastels. But yeah, you really just want to open that hair up and make sure you push all that color inside of there. That's how you avoid the patches. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is just kind of drop the hair off like that instead of pulling it out, you know?
Okay, that's
Because
cool.
you have all that color on there that will just get mudded into the blonde that you tried so hard to keep out.
Okay, does colour intensity absorb differently with uneven porosity? What to do to avoid?
So the spray will help even out the porosity. So when you spray that on the hair, that will help big time. Yeah, but if you're doing it on damp hair, you should be able to get it through. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah. So with that, I think when the hair has uneven porosity, then yeah, you're going to get different results. If it's different levels or different porosity, it will react differently with it. So number one, that's where toning really does come in. So you can work with, you know, either the new quick toners, you can use, you know, any of the Lumishine Demis or Chrome, anything like that will help even out the porosity. The other thing, as Carolyn mentioned, of course, HKP or Defy Damage spray. The Defy Damage is excellent for it. As a quick fix, I think something that's a really great quick fix, for example, Carolyn, we're doing, you know, mannequin head, so it's already pre-lightened, but you'd often use, for example, if it's a cool tone like this, yes, the Blonde Light Violet shampoo in prepping it. So it just, again, just gives a little bit of an even tone in areas from there.
Yeah, that's what I prepped her with, was the Blonde Light Violet shampoo. Okay, what one did that? Normally this would take a lot longer because I'd have to wipe the board myself, but Doug's helping me out here today, which is lovely. Okay. So if you wanted more of like a holographic look, you would go in with your yellows as well, and silvers too. It'd be really nice with this.
Another question here, do you thoroughly towel dry or blast dry with a hairdryer so it's just damp before application, so it's not dripping?
Yeah, I mean, she's quite wet, I would say, but just towel dry, yeah. I didn't use a blow dryer because as you're going, you can see like the ends are getting a bit dry, but just keep a water spray with you. But yeah, it's pretty damp, I would say. Not dripping, obviously, but yeah, just a really good towel blot, and away you go. Okay, so I'm gonna move back to this way. And then we're almost done.
So Katie has said she feels like watered down HKP would be a happy medium between a porosity equalizer and dampening the hair for efficient application.
Yeah,
Top idea, we like that.
Go girl.
10 points.
Perfect, Katie.
10 points. That's what I love about this. This is all about sharing, guys. So, you know, share your tips as well.
Yes. I need any tip I can get, please.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah. Okay. So we're on the finish line here.
So one thing that Carolyn does is when she wants to get really creative, you do a lot of stuff with wigs and hair pieces and stuff too,
yes.
don't you?
Love a good wig, yeah. I'm always on Facebook Marketplace looking for wigs. I don't care how old they are or whose head they've been on, I'll buy it.
So that's a really great way for you to be as creative as you like and experiment and then actually see what it looks like on someone's head though, right?
I know, it's the best. Yeah, because model agencies freak out when you're like, I just want to do some purple hair. So having a few wigs in your kit are great. And the color intensity is so good for that because it's easy to remove when you're done with it. Okay. Yeah, another good wig. If you guys have any, just let me know. I'll be over tonight.
Swap report.
Yeah. No, not my board.
Good trade system.
Yeah, right? But seriously, because how big are the squares when you buy this stuff? You could get like probably 8 boards out of it. It's a massive chunk.
It's all in the markup.
Oh yeah, girl. All right. So, oh my God, last section I think. Last one or last two?
Okay, I'm
Oh,
just
that's
gonna,
fun.
I'm gonna come up right up on my tippy toes here because I am short.
So Emma has said if you wanted to add in more colours, would you add a 4th section pattern or just add in another colour
Yeah.
on the same pattern?
Yeah, I would add in another color on the same pattern. Yeah. Like, because when we did the green one, there's so much hair left. I mean, obviously, if it's shorter, you have less space to do that. But the green one, there was still a lot of blonde on either end. So if you're going to do the yellow, just do a tiny, like, maybe even after the green, because the yellow and the green can blend really well together. Or you could literally just go underneath and just do a few single yellow panels as well if you want. So, but yeah, I would keep the yellow probably underneath that top veil because it's such a strong color.
How do you find it goes if you water it down with the clear? Is it still going to be really intense?
With the yellow?
The yellow, yeah.
It's more that your eye's just drawn to that more than anything. So like, it's still, yeah, obviously it's more pastel. It's not as intense, but you just look at that before anything else on hair, I find. So yeah, just use sparingly the yellow, and I'll show you on the other mannequin what I mean by that, and you'll be like, oh, I get it. The yellow's really intense. Okay, so this is my last one. So you can see how that purple is going to take, but if you put the pastel purple on and it kind of disappears, you're like, oh, that's not going to show up because it's absorbed. The yellow has, it's neutralized the yellow. You just left with blonde. So that's why it's really important to really pump up that purple so you can make sure you're going to be able to see that in the hair. That's why I love Joyco Intensity. You can literally see what's happening as it's happening, which is cool. All right. Whoop. Cool. So that's that.
She's done.
She done.
Okay, so I'm going to just bring you guys for a little look here. So you can see that herringbone, that cotton makes the herringbone really easy to see the lines that Carolyn has used to go on those diagonals there. And then I come back over to our side here. Look how those colours are sitting. I mean, that's going to look absolutely beautiful. What do you guys think? Give me some thumbs up or some love hearts, or what do you think? Nope. I'm sure they're coming. I'm sure they're coming. Okay.
So,
They're all at Bunnings.
They're all at Bunnings.
we're going to have a quick recap here. So, Carolyn, give us a quick recap. Firstly, colours.
Okay. Yes.
Over here.
There they are.
Yeah,
There we are. Go,
coming.
Andy Pandy.
Tell us about your mixes.
Okay.
Okay, so peacock green is almost like a teal sort of bluey green color. It's beautiful. but it was too deep for this. So we did it with a bit of yellow, and then this is the aqua flow. But also we added clear into that one, so we got this nice green color. Blush we did all on its own, so no clear, it's just a beautiful pastel pink by itself. Periwink, as you can see, it's quite of a deep blue, so we just added the clear in to give it that more pastel blue. And here we have the lilac and the light purple, but I also put clear into that. As you can see, it's sort of a nice happy medium in there. Cool, and then
we'll have a look over here.
Let's have a look at
again, quick recap on that sectioning, how you work through it, as well as the 1, 2, 3 of your boards.
my boards. Yeah. So this one had the purple on the bottom. The second one had the green in the middle, and the last one was weaved out with the pink. And then the top mohawk had the herringbone section and the same patterns over and over.
Okay, and I'd just like to point out that Duncan gave Carolyn a bit of a hard time about this one here. So that's a bird. That's a bird for a bird's eye view.
Bird flying, looking down.
Bird's eye view
Nose,
right there.
ears.
Yeah, nose and ears. It's a beautiful drawing.
Okay,
And
this
I'm gonna
girl.
back up.
Okay, we might bring her over here. Yeah.
Let's bring her
So
over.
this was the same technique on shorter hair, and she was very, she was probably only a level 8. So you can still do it on a level 8, but you can see the purple was absorbed by that color because it's a little bit darker and it had lots of gold left in it. So I could have pre-toned that as well, but I just wanted to keep it raw just to show you guys what that would look like on a level 8 as well. And then this is the other girl, this is Jane again. So here's what I was saying about the yellow, right? So there's only a tiny bit of yellow in there, but it really, really pops out in the hair.
So if I just bring back and you can see her as a whole.
Yeah. So you see how the yellow is really standing out there? And that's only a tiny, tiny little bit. So it looks beautiful, but if I were to do that again, I probably wouldn't have put as much yellow in there. You can see the back. So this is a different technique. We'll probably go over this another time or in one of our color classes. But this one we did a lot of silver and titanium, and that was used as a toner for the blonde. So she was the exact same color as that one we just did, which was quite yellow. But I didn't pre-tone her. I just used the intensities more as toners and then also as colors. But yeah.
Can we just have a look at the underneath section of this one, Carolyn?
Yeah. So this was done more on a diagonal, like what you guys were saying earlier. So the first section of that was like that on a diagonal, pulled forward, and then we did the blue and the pink on the end, and then I just went up from there. And we did a pink section, so it's just kind of gone all up like that. So that when it falls back, you just get that really nice blend of color.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
A few of them have asked that, they've said that your curls are absolutely gorgeous, and how did you achieve that look?
I'll show you. 1 second.
Let's chat amongst yourselves.
Guys,
Talk to Dunk.
Well, Carolyn's grabbing her tools there. So basically, look, thanks for joining us on Sabre Education Experience forum page. We're going to be utilising this page for further, live education. We'll be doing colour education. We'll be doing product education. We'll be doing, anything cutting, styling, etc. Particularly in 2021. Of course, there'll be, more digital education happening. So from there, please be looking out for us here. What we're posting. This forum really is for us to share everything or anything across any Sabre brand. So feel free to let us know what you'd like to see. Send product questions through to us on this page. Anything you like from this, it's a real page where we can share our thoughts, our ideas, our questions, anything from there. So look out for doing more live on here, but utilise that page for sending us more information, guys.
Yeah, by all means, guys, you let us know what you'd like to see. You want to see more from Carolyn? Do you want more pastels? Do you want? Yeah, look at that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So let us know what you'd like to see, and we will do our very best to accommodate. So I think we're going to get. This is a little impromptu curling demonstration.
So this is my bad boy, Jeffrey. This is made for hair extensions. That's why it's so massive. But that's what I use for those curls. So it just gets the job done. In the salon, you can curl hair in like 3 minutes. So you literally just take that whole section, and you're just going in.
Look at that colour.
Yeah.
So this is our girl we've just done. This is the colour technique.
Yeah.
And what it looks like.
So
Now, when you say that's for extensions,
Yeah.
it's fine on. It'd be fine on
use it on
natural
every
hair.
single
Use it on
client.
everyone. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Because it's just so quick, like literally, because it's so big, you can fit so much hair inside. And this is just from Seamless, the hair extension brand. But I would die without Jeffrey.
I do love that you've named him Jeffrey.
Cool. So literally, that was just 3 sections.
So guys, what we might do as another training, Carolyn, is how to curl hair, how to wave it, how to beach wave it, how to put body in it, all sorts of difference, what sort of sectioning patterns you work through for that.
Okay, I'll just cover through. That's it. Cool.
Amaze
So
balls.
that's the color.
Look at that.
How that will turn out.
Can everyone see that? I think
Pauline says she
we all
needs a
need
Jeffrey.
we all need a Jeffrey in our lives.
Yeah,
That
and then I would
look-
just finish that off with some shine spray. And then yeah, take your photos with your ring light or a natural light. All good to go.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
So guys, we'll just have another minute for a Q&A, but with that, what we're going to do is we're going to let that process. Once it's processed from there, we'll actually bring that in. We'll actually dry it off and style it so you can see it. So we'll post some photos of the Carolyn's model there, the Jane. And from there, we'll also do our draw. So those who have been sending questions through, we'll be having that draw and we'll post that winner as well so you know who the winner is. Guys, thank you so much. Any further questions for Carolyn?
Shout them out. Type them on. We'll just give it 5 or 3. You know, you better type quick.
So guys, you'll still be able to post things on the page anyway, so from there, let us know, send those through. As I say, we'll be doing this for another sort of 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that to actually process and then get to it. So we'll be posting some stuff shortly. So thanks for being on the page. Thank you, Carolyn. Sunday night, the Australian Hair Fashion Awards. So with that, good luck, Carolyn, for all your areas, all your prizes in Hair Colorist of the Year and all sorts of things.
Thank you.
Of course, our Joyco brand, we've got some categories there we're in. Michaela Jade over in WA, good luck. Hair Studio in WA, good luck. And guys, look forward to more on Sabre Education Experience.
And you guys can watch this again. This will stay up in the forum. So if you missed it live, or you want to rewatch it, you can just hit play, ask questions, and then we'll get back to you. Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Thanks.